Hello everybody, welcome to Savage Ink Studios. I'm your host Ink, and today's sketchbook story time is about suburban horror. Now, one of the homes that I grew up in was in the suburbs, the other was in the city. And for the most part, I definitely prefer the suburbs. I like being able to go outside and sleep on a picnic table without it being a fearful thing. I enjoy being able to lay down and look at the sky and see a trillion stars. I like the noises that the animals make and the fact that the roads aren't so busy that you can hear them all night long. When I grew up with my dad, he lived in a little house in the middle of the woods, and if I were to choose a place to live, it would definitely be like country suburbs. However, there are some things about living in the woodsy areas that are less enjoyable, and I'm going to share one of those with you. So, growing up there, in the beginning when I was young, there was a cat and a dog and a goldfish. I don't know if I'll tell stories about all of them at some point, but that's noteworthy in this story. And during this year, more and more issue was coming of what some people said was a wolf, what some people said was a coyote, what some people said was a giant rabid gray-looking German shepherd. Among the community, it was pretty undecided. I'm pretty sure the news actually covered it and said it was, in fact, a coy wolf, though. But there was one of those in our neighborhood, and boy, was it wreaking havoc. It started with our neighbor's chickens, and after the neighbor's chickens, it was people's small dogs. It got to the point where we all knew, like, hey, if you've got little kids, keep them inside, because this thing was kind of just decimating our little ecosystem. And seemed to enjoy the area because we were making easy food for it. So anyway, I wanted to see this thing so bad because those of you who may know me from DeviantArt know that up until I changed my DeviantArt name to match my new YouTube channel, I was formerly known as Savage Wolf. It's kind of like my thing. I like wolves. I always have. My little brother seems to think that I have werewolf blood in me. Yeah, wrap your head around that one. He was 8 and he's like, I figured it out. And I'm like, figured what out? And he's like, well, we're Native American, so you must just definitely be part werewolf. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, you're allergic to silver, you like eating raw meat, you're super cranky, you're part werewolf. And I'm just like, you're smoking something. But that's cute, thank you. So, yeah, I definitely wanted to at least see this thing in passing. I wasn't gonna, walk up to it and rub its ears or anything, but I wanted an opportunity to see this giant wolf dog that everyone was talking about. So it had been around killing things for a few months, and it was starting to get cold. So I made one of my few and far between trips out to our local mall because our cat couldn't groom herself at the time. She just didn't seem to have any interest, so her being an outdoor cat who refused to groom herself, she would get dreadlocks. So my family would have to, shave her down to make sure she didn't get all knotted up and whatever. But being that the weather was getting cold, I thought it would be nice to go to the local mall and pick her up a little cat sweater. So I went, and I came back, and I was telling my dad, oh hey, I got this thing for the cat. And his face drops and he goes, about that. And it turns out that while I was gone, my dad, who had also wanted to get a glimpse of this thing, saw it in the back of our backyard. So he ran and he grabbed his camera, his video recorder camera, whatever, and was sneaking up to it through the yard. You could hear him saying, "Oh, it's got something. It's eating something. It's definitely got something. All right, we're going to see what it is." And as he got closer and closer, finally the camera dropped and you can just hear him say, "Oh, shit." And he yelled and scared it off, but not before the camera managed to catch a frame of our cat with her belly spilled out all over the ground. And I was devastated, obviously. You know, we had sat and talked about it after, and while we were all obviously really, really sad, she was a very, very old cat and was very much live by the sword, die by the sword. I mean, she was taking down rabbits twice her size for most of her life. There's another fun story. I'll put a quickie one in there for you guys because we're only at like 6 minutes right now. So, one time, there was a giant rabbit in the garage with no leg, dead, and my dad was just like, bleh. And so I'm like, "Oh my god, just get me a garbage bag, I'll take care of it myself." So he grabbed a garbage bag, and I'm like trying to pick this giant rabbit up off the ground without like getting anything nasty on me, and like turn it around, and my stepmom comes out and she's like, "Oh my god, why would you let her touch that? It might have rabies." And he's like, "Why would I want to touch it? It might have rabies." So yeah, there's that. Yeah, so anyway, you know, we had to talk about, you know, she lived a long life and she hunted things. It's only right that now that she is old, she should feed something else. Didn't make it any less sad for, you know, me, but I understand the mentality of it. So, yes. While there are many, many nice things about living in the suburbs, whether it be the lack of traffic, the lack of traffic noises, and the fact that none of your neighbors can see your house is a nice thing, you know? All of those things are great. However, if you live in the suburbs, there are some things that are not so great. Like coy wolves eating your cats. Alright, well, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, ideas that you want to throw at me, leave them in the comments section below. Sorry I haven't been posting as much. Work has been hella crazy. So, we shall see, and I will try and keep on getting stuff up. So, I will see you guys in the next one.